Good morning. Shall we start the lab class? So can everyone see my screen? Students, can everyone see my screen? Okay. So 8051 microcontroller laboratory. Actually, this lab completely focuses on 8051 microcontroller programming, where we will be doing both assembly language programs and embedded C programs. And the first cycle, generally, we will be doing the experiments using 8051 trainer kits. Actually, this 8051 trainer kit features are very similar to your 8086 trainer kits. I think you were familiar with 8086 trainer kits. So in this semester, we are going to introduce MCU 8051 Virtual Simulator IDE instead of Trainer Kit. So the first cycle, we will be doing our experiment assembly language programs using Virtual Simulator. Okay. And second cycle experiment, we will be concentrating on embedded C programming using Keil Microvision IDE along with Proteus Simulator 8.6 version simulator for verifying your logic and results. Okay. So in the first cycle, the first two experiments, we will be concentrating on both arithmetic and logic operations along with delay routine. And third one is string manipulation program, which includes searching, sorting, and solving a palindrome. And fourth and fifth experiment. Fifth will be interfacing experiment such as ADC and DAC, analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. For that, we are going to use Virtual Lab, which is developed by IIT Bombay. So this is the website for Virtual Lab. So this lab is developed by IIT Bombay faculty team. So where we are going to do some interfacing experiment like ADC and DAC. So this is the simulator platform. So here we have to edit our program. This is the text editor. Okay. For interfacing experiment alone, we will be using this virtual laboratory developed by IIT Bombay. Okay. And second cycle completely based on your Keil Microvision IDE. So what is IDE? Any idea about it? IDE. Students, any idea about IDE? So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So IDE means integrated development environment, where you can visualize the architecture of any microcontroller, any version of microcontroller in real time. So it means that you can view your register content, timer register content, port, IO port contents, communication data transfer, everything we can visualize in real time. And one more thing is that you can visualize the data transfer, how the data is transferred between internal and external memory. So in this way, we can visualize all your 8051 architecture, that is inside operations. We can visualize using any IDE. So for first cycle, we will be using a MCU 8051 IDE platform. For second cycle, we will be using Keil Microvision 5 version IDE. Okay. So our first experiment will be a study of 8051 microcontroller architecture and simple 8051 assembly language program. So in this experiment, we are going to do some simple arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, along with logical operation and or XOR and NOT operation. So first I will demonstrate demonstrate all the arithmetic operation in your virtual simulator. After that, you have to complete the logic operations. Okay. So did everyone receive the study material? Study material of first experiment? Has everyone received? So have you gone through the material? Actually, the study material describes about your 8051 architecture. That is architecture of 8051, all your special function register, that is programming model of 8051, pin diagram of 8051, all your special function registers, internal RAM organization, internal memory accessing. So all your pin details of 8051. And this is the specification of 8051 trainer kit. So you can ignore the trainer kit specification given in the page number 15, okay? 15 and 16. And summary of 8051 instruction set. So before we start, Mrs. Dhanalakshmi will brief you about general instruction, general lab instruction. Dhanalakshmi?
Yes, ma'am.
You can proceed.
Okay. So good morning, students. So this is your microcontroller laboratory. In this laboratory, usually we will split students into batches of 2. But as far as now online laboratory is concerned, you cannot be subdivided into 2, right? So you are supposed to do the experiments individually in your laptops, in your home. Okay. So I just want to know whether anybody is having problem in accessing your laptops. Anybody don't have laptop, or anybody laptop is...
So how many students don't have a laptop at home? Bhaskar. Okay.
Sweta.
Oh,
many
students. So what shall we do, Dhanalakshmi? Many students don't have laptop.
Hello? Hello?
So totally how many students?
Ma'am, I'll just count and tell you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Nearly 27 of them are not having laptops.
Not having. So, Kalaivani and Soundriya, any suggestion regarding this? So, what shall we do for this students? 25, nearly 25 students.
Today meeting we discuss with ma'am. We will discuss with ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Otherwise, we combine the students in a batch, 2 in a batch.
But then they will not be having any hands-on, ma'am.
We will upload some videos.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
We will upload some videos, demos.
Okay, ma'am.
Saudri Rani, what's your suggestion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll just do it, save the video, send it to them, ma'am. Let them see it. Those who are
Okay.
having the laptop, let them do it. Others just see it and write the notes how to do the experiment. They'll just
And
take the notes.
they will submit the notes. Huh?
Yes.
Ma'am, we have to create a Google Classroom, ma'am. After
Yeah, already
completing
it was created.
okay, ma'am. They will submit the lab experiment through the Google Classroom, ma'am. After
So
completing the
students,
experiment.
those don't have laptop, so don't worry. We will send the video demos with proper explanation. Just go through the videos and submit the information as an assignment. Okay, submit it as an assignment. Okay, is it okay for you,
Okay, ma'am. We can do like that.
students? Is it okay for you? Just you go through all the videos and you can submit the outputs, okay, in the Google Classroom.
You can work out various combinations of input, what is going to be the output. So like that, you can have a study and you can submit different inputs and different output
Different
combinations.
outputs. Okay.
Ma'am, shall I display the batch split up?
Yeah, you can display.
Ma'am, I'll just share my screen so that students will get to know.
You can share the list.
Okay. Ma'am, please, you can give a stop sharing, ma'am, so that I can. So just make a note of it, students. So this is 15EC56 microcontroller laboratory. So we have splitted for first 13 students under Dr. M. Pungodi ma'am, who is your lab in charge. And from roll number 14 till roll number 26, you come under Ms. R. Kalevani ma'am. Okay. And from roll number 27 till 39, OVIA, you will come under myself, Dhanlakshmi. Okay. And from roll number 41 to 54, you will come under Soundarya Rani ma'am. 14 students will come under Soundarya Rani ma'am. And last 14 students from Subiksha to Shatir Aluddin, you will come under Muralidharan sir. Okay. So you can submit your outputs or
Has
your
Muralidharan joined today? Muralidharan?
Yeah, he joined, ma'am. He joined.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes. Okay, Murali.
Okay, ma'am, through mobile, ma'am.
Okay. So these students can submit your outputs or your assignment, what we are giving in laboratory, you can submit to the corresponding faculty and they will award you marks accordingly. Okay, thank you.
Any clarifications? Any doubts regarding
So
your batches?
I'll just share this batch split up in our group WhatsApp. Okay, so that you will get to know. Any doubts? Any doubts in the assignment of faculty? Okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Some students will know, ma'am, no.
Ma'am, they are saying that there is no doubt in assignment.
That's no doubt. Okay. So this is your NCU 8051 IDE. Actually, it is a graphical IDE for microcontroller based on only 8051 microcontroller. It is an open source platform, and this supports actually this it will support more than 79 MCUs, more than 79 microcontrollers. So let me explain the features of IDE first. So go to project and click on new. Students, please note it down. So the first step, you have to create new project. So under a project menu, you click on new. So here you have to specify your project name, project directory, and we need to select our processor, in which platform we are going to perform your operation, that is assembly level programming, and you have to select your external RAM and Xcode. Okay. So first give your project name. After that, select your project directory. So in your project directory, you create separate folder for each program. Okay. So you have to create new folder here. Next, click on OK. Okay. After that, you select your folder and click on OK. So this will be your directory, project directory. Okay. Demo/sample is your project directory. Click on OK. After that, we have to select our microcontroller. So 8051, you have to select 8051. So select your MCU from this list, that is from the given list. And next, enable this external memory. So this external memory is capable of addressing 2 power of 16, that is 0000 to 65536 bits. So you select the maximum value. So amount of your external memory you have to give. So 00 to the maximum value 65536. So first you have to give your project name and define your project directory, select your processor and enable your external RAM. Okay. Click on OK. So this is your main screen of this virtual simulator MCU 8051 IDE. Students, are you able to follow my instructions? So let me explain the features of IDE. So this window is your register window. So here you can see all your general purpose register and special function register, accumulator, V register, DPTR, and remaining all registers are special function registers. Okay. And next one is, this is the internal RAM memory. So this memory is the internal RAM memory, and here you can see all your register content, including your general purpose register and your special purpose register TCON, TMOD, IE register, and all your ports and DPTR, program counter, power control register, and serial control register. So using this window, you can view the content of all your registers. Okay. And next here, utilities. We have many options. The first one is the hex editor. We can give hex values here. Hex or decimal, binary values, any values we can enter here. And this is the 7-segment editor. Suppose I am giving value 1, 0. So based on that, the LED will glow. So this is for common cathode and this is for common anode. So this is the 8-segment display editor. So you can edit the segment values here. Next, this is the ASCII table. Suppose I am entering the value capital A. So corresponding hexadecimal value, decimal value, octal value, binary values, all the values will be displayed here. For capital A, the corresponding ASCII value for capital A is 41. So it is an interactive ASCII chart editor. And this one is 8051 complete instruction table. You can refer your instructions here. Suppose I'm entering opcode 00. The corresponding instruction for this particular opcode is no operation. Suppose I'm entering 10. The corresponding instruction for this particular opcode is jump no bit. So in this way, you can check your instruction using this instruction table. Next is the base converter. For converting your numbers, I'm entering 1F. So it is converted into decimal, binary and octal. So it's a hexadecimal editor, the converter, and special calculator. So using this special calculator, we can write time delay programs. So using this one, we can generate time delay. Okay, for generating time delay, this special calculator can be used. So this is completely based on your timer operation. I will explain that later. Okay, so these timers are used to generate some amount of time delay. So the time delay calculation can be calculated by using this special calculator. So these are some features under the option of utilities. And virtual hardware, we have many options. So we have got LED panel, okay, and LED display, and LED matrix, multiplexed LED display, simple keypad. So using this option, virtually we can connect these hardware with our 8051 microcontroller. Okay, LCD, matrix keypad, and temperature sensor. So these are the virtual hardware supported by this IDE. Your LED, panel, display, matrix, multiplexed LED display, keypad, and temperature sensor. Okay. And virtual MCU contains your special function register map, bit area map, and stack content, that is your RAM memory location content. Using this option, you can view your core memory, that is program memory, and using this one, you can view your external memory. And also you can enter your inputs here. So two options, we have virtual MCU and virtual hardware. Using this virtual hardware, we can do interfacing experiments, and using virtual MCU, we can access our core memory and external memory. Okay, is it clear? Students, is it clear? Any clarifications? And this window is for especially designed for your external hardware device. If you are connecting any external hardware to your PC, that hardware can be accessed by using this window. Okay. And here there are many options. One is simulator option. The simulator option contains all your register content and internal RAM memory. And this is for your embedded C coding. And this is the IO port monitor. So we can monitor the IO port contents using this IO port option. And we have macro assembler. So this will display your compilation execution messages. And here you can store your notes. And using calculator, you can convert your number from hexadecimal to decimal, decimal to hexadecimal for whatever operation you want to do. You can use this calculator. And this option is for start simulation, and this is for debugging. Okay, that's all about the features of your IDE. So it has advanced source code editor, macro assembler. It supports ALB as well as embedded C program. And we can interface your 8-segment display and LED, LCD, keypad, and matrix keypad and temperature sensor. And special calculators available for generating time delay. And interactive ASCII chart is available. And also hexadecimal editor is available. And we can view our, we can visualize our special function register mapping and also bit addressable area. And interrupt monitoring also available. You can monitor your interrupt status. So both your internal and external interrupt status, and IO port monitor is also available here. Okay. So let's start simple assembly code addition program. So this will highlight your syntax, okay? This option, actually whether you are entering a correct instruction or not, that will be indicated by this syntax highlighter. Move A, hash 0FF and H. So this H represents your hexadecimal number. So the purpose of this instruction, I am moving 8-bit data, that is FF, to accumulator. Next, move B, hash. Hash is representing your immediate value. It's representing a 8-bit data. Okay. 0 to H. Next, I am entering add instruction. Add A, B. Next, end. So first I am transferring, that is moving 8-bit data, immediate data from FF, that is FF to accumulator. Next 0 to B register, adding accumulator content with B register, and after the addition, the result will be stored in accumulator. So let's run the code. So just click the start simulator option. So click on S. So before that, you have to save this file. So save this file under sample folder. The file name say sample.asm. The extension, file extension is ASM, assembly language program. Click on OK. So now this file is attached to your folder, sample.asm. Okay. So the path is demo/sample. Okay. So let's run the code. One second.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I think there is a error. I mean, in second statement after hash, there should not be any space.
Space. Okay, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
The message says simulated data file is not found. It's compiled successfully, I think. So your compilation is successful here. Okay. Hex file is created, object file is created, and your code is, that is our code is compiled successfully. Okay. So next we have to run your code. So for that, click this step program. Okay. We will execute the instruction one by one. So first, I will execute this first instruction. Okay. So what is the first instruction? Move a comma hash 0ff. Okay. So first instruction is executed. So your ff is transferred to accumulator. Students, please see here, your ff is loaded into accumulator. Okay. And executing the second instruction, was 02 is transferred to B register. I am executing third instruction. So accumulator content is added with B, that is ff is added with B, and result will be stored in accumulator. Okay. And also PSW shows all the flag status. Based on your addition, the flag will be affected. So what is your input? FFF and 02. FF is equal to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. And 02 hexadecimal value 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So what is the answer? What is the answer? 1, 0, all 0, 0, 0, 0, and carry. Additional carry is generated. So your answer is 0, 1. Converting this value 0, 1 hexadecimal. So you can see here the carry flag is generated. So it is indicated in green color. Your carry is generated here. So PSW carry is set to 1. And auxiliary carry, that is carry is generated from D3 to D4. So auxiliary carry is set to 1. Okay. And parity depends on the number of ones in your result. So on number of ones mean your parity flag will be set. So parity flag is set. Okay. Is it clear, students? Is it clear? So first I am transferring your 8-bit data to accumulator and moving second data to B register. Simply I am adding these two content and result will be holded by accumulator. So result is holded in accumulator. So based on the result, your flag will be affected. So based on the result, your carry is set, auxiliary carry is set, and parity flag is set. So next, subtraction. The instruction for subtraction is SUBB. So stop the simulation and modify your code. SUBB. So save this and compile. Let's compile this code. So code is compiled successfully without any errors. And execute the code. So FFS moved into accumulator. So look at this table, FFS transferred to accumulator, okay? And next step, I am executing move B comma hash 02, okay? So look at here, 02 is transferred to B register, okay? I am subtracting that is B register content by from accumulator. I am subtracting the content of B from A, FF minus 02, okay? What is the answer now? So the FD is the answer. When we are subtracting 02 from FF, the answer will be FD. So FD is stored in accumulator. So based on the result, all your flags will be affected, okay? So while doing subtraction, you have to take 2's complement of 02 and add that value with FF, you will be getting FD, okay? So based on the result, your parity flag is set to 1, remaining all the flags will be reset, okay? Is it clear? So next I am doing reverse subtraction. I am subtracting FF from 02. Let's see what will happen, okay? Let's execute this code. So 02 is moved to accumulator. So look at here, and also that value is reflected this window. So your accumulator holds 02. Next, your B register holds FF. I'm subtracting 02 from FF, okay? So it's a reverse subtraction. I am subtracting a larger number from smaller number, okay? So you will be getting, actually the result is 03 and your flags, carry flag is set and auxiliary carry set to 1. I will explain this operation. So 02 0 0 0 0 0 1 0. And for FF, we have to take 2's complement. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 And complementing, take one's complement first. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and add 1. 1, 0, 0. So add this one with 0, 2. Find out the answer. To find out the answer for this one. So your simulator will accept 0. If the number is a 2-digit number, we have to give 0 before that number. What is the answer? 0, 3. So what is the original answer subtracting FF minus 0, 2? When we are subtracting 0, 2 from FF, what is the answer? FD is the answer, okay? So the answer is 0, 3, okay? So the 0, 3 is in 2's complement form. Actually, this 0, 3 is in 2's complement form. To extract the original answer, we need to convert this 2's complement form to true form, okay? So what is the carry flag status here? Carry flag status is 1, okay? Your additional carry is 1. And your answer is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, okay? So convert this value. It is in 2's complement form. We need to convert this value into original form, that is true form. So first you need to take 1's complement, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, okay? And add 1 to this LSB, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And converting 2's complement form to true form, you complement this carry 0. So what is the true form of this subtraction? What is the true form? What is the exact value you are getting? Tell me some answer. So this is equivalent to FD. Yes, this is equivalent to FD. So first, initially, I am subtracting 2 from FF. You will be getting FD, okay? And I am subtracting FF from 0 to, you will get the result in 2's complement form. For converting that 2's complement to true form, again we have to take 2's complement for the 0, 3. FD is the original answer. FD is the true form for the subtraction value. Do you understand? Because we are subtracting. Why is carry flag is set for 0 to subtracting the larger number from smaller number. So automatically your carry flag will be set to 1 in this case. In this particular case, your carry flag is set. When we are converting 2's complement to true form, we have to complement the carry flag status to get an original answer. So get the original answer, you have to complement your carry. Any other question? So let's move on to next operation, multiplication. Any doubts regarding your addition and subtraction? Any doubts? Do you have any doubt? So next instruction is multiplication instruction. the instruction syntax for multiplication MUL AB. MUL AB. So MUL AB. So the functionality of this instruction, multiply the content of accumulator with B register. Answer will be holded by accumulator. Okay. So first we multiply FF by 2. Okay. FF into 2. So what is the answer? 1FE. So multiplying FF into 0, 2 is equal to FE. That is 1FE. So after the multiplication, this FE, your lower order bits, your LSB will be holded by accumulator, and MSB, this one, will be holded by B register. So only it will perform 8-bit multiplication. If the answer exceeds the 8-bit, that is exceeds the 8-bit, your result remaining bits will be holded by B register. So it will perform only 8-bit multiplication. If your answer exceeds the 8-bit limit, that is it exceeds 255, the remaining bits will be holded by B register. Is it clear? No, ma'am. Is it clear? Multiplication operation? So we are multiplying. So this instruction only works with accumulator and B register. So this is the syntax. So you have to give your inputs through A and B, both multiplier and multiplicand. So after execution, this accumulator is multiplied with, that is accumulator content is multiplied with B register content, and your accumulator will hold LSB of your answer and B register will hold MSB of your result. Okay, is it clear now? Okay, yes or no? Students, please answer yes or no. Is it clear now? Since it is a 8-bit microcontroller, we can perform only 8-bit multiplication, 8-bit addition, 8-bit subtraction, and 8-bit division. So your database size is 8. Okay. So we can perform only 8-bit operation. Your 8051 is handling only 8-bit arithmetic and logic operation. So let's run this code. So compile and execute step by step. So you can see here 02 is transferred to accumulator and FF is transferred to B register. And next your result FE, LSB is moved into accumulator and your B holds 0, 1. That's all. So here you can see your result. Your accumulator, after execution of this program, accumulator holds FE, B register holds 0, 1. Is it clear, ma? Do you understand the multiplication operation? Okay. So let's move on to the next instruction, division instruction. Div AB. So this instruction only works with accumulator and B register. Okay. I'm considering same inputs. So similar to your multiplication, you have to change this one. So you have to enter your dividend here first. Divisor B. A divided by B. Okay, so FF divided by 0 2. FF divided by 0. So the answer is 7F along with some floating point. This is your reminder. Okay, it's a 0.8 is a reminder. So nearly it's 1. So 7F, your quotient will be 7F and reminder will be 1. Okay. So let's check the results. So FF is transferred to accumulator. So look at here. X0 to transferred. Next division operation is performed. So you will be getting this answer, that is 7F. Your accumulator holds 7F, reminder will be 0 1. Okay. Any doubts? So after division, your quotient will be held by accumulator and remainder will be held by B register. Any doubts? So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So I have demonstrated all the arithmetic operations. That is addition, only 8-bit. Okay, 8-bit addition, 8-bit subtraction, 8-bit multiplication, 8-bit division. Okay, so you have to complete all the logical operations and OR, XOR, and NOT operation. Okay, so refer the instruction syntax using this one 8051 instruction table. So for OR operation, the syntax is ORL. ORL A comma B. Okay. So this will perform 8-bit OR operation. For AND, ANL A comma B. Okay. For XRL A comma B. This will perform XOR operation. For NOT operation, CPL, complement accumulator. So that instruction only works with accumulator only. CPL accumulator. Please note it down. So you have to complete ORL. So syntax for this instruction is ORL A comma B. Any general purpose register. A comma R1, A comma R2, A comma R3, but destination must be accumulator. Okay. And next XRL A comma B. This will perform XOR operation. AND operation ANL A comma. And for NOT operation, complement accumulator. So this instruction only works with accumulator alone.